This is the Cooking Today Show. I'm Allan Gilbreth, and I'm here with my partners in culinary crime, Brandon Olmsted and the infamous Claire.
Howdy.
Oh, man.
How you guys doing today?
I've been better, but I've been way worse, too.
All right.
Now that I've just jammed fruit into my body.
Well, yeah, she's looking a little way too happy, so.
Well, she definitely did partake.
Consume plant matter, people. It's good for you.
It is. You can follow us at thecookingtodayshow.com, and today we went a little genre.
Well, that's one way of putting it.
Yeah, I love genre cooking, so I'm going to throw this in. I love genre cooking. What is genre cooking? Genre cooking is bat cookies at Halloween.
Yes.
It's cooking a meal that you saw in a movie. It's paying homage to something.
Yeah, what a lot of people don't seem to realize is that when you cook your traditional Christmas dinner at Christmas, that is genre cooking. It's just not as much fun because of the fact that, you don't get to make it into bat shapes. Or, it's like, sure,
I don't know what your Christmas traditions are. But.
It's really hard to form a turkey into a Christmas tree. I'm not saying it can't be done. It's just a lot of work.
Well, you got to cut it just right, and
it can
be done. It can be done.
Well, and here's the thing: you got to start with a thawed turkey and a shawarma machine.
Ooh, there's an idea.
Just saying.
Yeah, why do you do this to me? Now you're looking at this like a challenge all of a sudden.
Allan, we have known each other for upwards of 20 years at this point. And we have been doing radio together for 7 of those years. You were going to rub off on me eventually, so the evil comes out.
It does. You're like, what would be really tasty? Let's see, what can I hint to Allan? I want him to cook now.
It's not even a hint, dude. I still want you to do vegan ribs.
That is coming. I will throw that out there for those listening. That will be coming soon. I love that challenge. It's got to be done. I'm going to throw in that there was a movie out this week.
Yes,
you and I have both already enjoyed.
We've been super excited about this movie. We've been trying to convince others that the MonsterVerse is the way to go. The MonsterVerse is the way to go, and we've had a lot of pushback.
But it's okay.
It's okay because
from fools.
Yes, from fools. But it's okay because now we have smoothies.
We do.
Based on it's like
we have the inspiration struck because you were asking me earlier in the week, what are we going to do? And I was kind of like, I don't know.
And I wanted to do something. I wanted to do something sweet. We've done savory and everything for the past couple of weeks. It's time to do something a little sweet. So
we got King Kong inspired.
Yes,
because he lives on a tropical island.
Yes,
so tropical flavors.
So and what better way to just exhibit those flavors and put them in your body than through smoothies.
And as I'm looking at Claire, who's all happy and smiling, and you're happy and smiling. You know what, guys? Smoothies are a lot easier to make than you think.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Again, there is no end of variations of what you can turn into a smoothie.
No,
if you can pulverize it in a blender, you can make it a smoothie.
And make it good. And that's the fun part.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had a bad smoothie because of the ingredients. I have had a bad smoothie because of the lack of knowledge that the person trying to make it had when it came to your fillers. Mm-hmm. Which, as will get you up to date. The best filler for any smoothie is plain Greek yogurt.
After playing with it this week, I am not going to argue that point.
No, because it is because of the fact that it doesn't have a flavor of its own. It's just the yogurt. Mm-hmm. The flavors that you put into it pop so much more.
They do.
If you use anything for your filler that is flavored, it mutes what you've added to it. So I'm not saying that you should just do kale and Greek yogurt.
Yeah, no.
I mean.
You need to experiment a little more than that.
I get that it's a superfood, guys, but it doesn't have to go in everything.
No, it doesn't.
You hide it. That's what you do with it.
Yes.
You use the berries as a vehicle for the stuff that is supposed to actually be even better for
you. There you go.
Well, we'll do a show sometime very soon on greens, because that is just an entirely different show.
Oh yes,
That is really an entirely different show. Today,
And
since
that's-
we're opening up into the wonders of spring, and
everything tastes like pollen.
it's my truck was yellow this morning. That's true. But strawberries are already in.
And
Let's face it, everybody's gateway fruit, strawberries. If you've never grown strawberries, you can grow them on almost anything. You can almost just set them on a rock and they'll grow. If you've never grown a strawberry, you've never had a strawberry picked fresh. You've never had a strawberry.
No.
The guys in the stores, they're good. They're better than nothing. It's a great way to get a strawberry, but it's not fresh.
No.
It's not as fresh as it could be. But whether they're frozen, whether you get them already chopped up in the little frozen can, you know what? They all make great smoothies.
See, you made me cringe for a second there when you brought up the idea of the can. I have a slight issue when it comes to canned fruit, and that's because if it's not prepared to be a pie filling already,
Right.
you typically get and it may just be me. I may be a taste snob. You get just that little hint.
There's no may that
Of
you're
10.
a taste snob. You are a taste snob.
Okay. You know me. I prefer
Yes.
anything that is produce. I prefer it fresh or as
Yes.
fresh as I can get it. That's not to say that I haven't had things and go directly home like with shucked corn and put it directly into the freezer.
Right.
But then that's fresh to me, because I helped pick it. Which we need to take everybody on a video field trip and shuck corn. I'm just saying that, just putting it out there. But any kind of fruit that you put into a smoothie, especially I want it to be something that even if I went to the farmer's market and I picked out my own stuff and everything, I don't like canned stuff. But it's great in a pinch. Especially citric.
There we go. I was about to say, especially the citric stuff and that kind of thing. So here we go. Let's at least in this section, let's cover the basic idea of a smoothie.
Okay.
The basic idea of a smoothie is basically fruit-based ice cream.
Yes.
Is just fundamentally what we're talking about, because we're gonna put it in a blender, we're gonna beat it up, we're gonna make it nice and thick. And we're going to spoon it or drink it or whatever we're going to do with it.
Well, we're going to do it in shot glass.
Yeah, well, we just got to do it in shot glasses, guys. We had
Friday, we're going to party.
We just had a whole bar full of all different kinds of smoothies in your shot glass and start having a good time.
Yeah, I mean, if we were doing a late night show, we could talk about other things we would have added. But since it's
we're
cooking
early
today,
yeah, we're early. We're still cooking. So what I discovered this week. Just kind of playing with the idea. You've got half of it is what I would consider mass. And that is going to be, because of our King Kong inspiration for this,
it's got to be
bananas, mangoes, strawberries, papaya, the tropicals, oranges, cuties, whatever.
Those really weird fruits that are shaped funny that you don't know what they are.
Oh, star fruits.
Well, no, I wasn't going to go just with star fruit. There's plenty of things like durians look weird,
Oh, yeah.
everything. Chop them up and put them in a smoothie. It's the best way to try them for the first time.
Even dragon fruit, which I totally adore. Yeah.
I'm just thinking of a dragon fruit kiwi smoothie right now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to check out for the rest of the show. I just got to think.
Brandon's done right now. He's having a smoothie fantasy. All right. Then you have your binder, and a lot of people like banana for that.
Well, I mean,
and I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to go with the unflavored Greek yogurt.
Yes.
It's nice. It's thick. It's gooey. It's almost the consistency of warm cream cheese.
Yeah. And the
it's
great
a good
thing,
binder.
The great thing about it is if you want your smoothie to be thick, and that's just perfect.
And we're not even going to get into the 3-hour long discussion of the health benefits of a good Greek yogurt.
No, at this point, when it comes to food media, you've been beat over the head about why Greek yogurt is good for you. You don't need that for us. Yep. We're here about the taste.
Yogurt is good for you, but yogurt is also can be very good to you.
Yes.
So we've got our solids, we got our binder, and then you need about a cup of liquid.
Yes.
And that can be orange juice, apple juice, milk, pineapple, I'm trying to think, coconut milk, soy milk.
Soy milk's good. Coconut milk's good. If you want to put just that little bit of a dessert spin to it, 1% chocolate milk. Don't go much thicker than that because you'll kill the flavor of the fruit you've added. But
yeah, again, and it's kind of experiment a little bit. Now, the one thing I've also discovered is that the upside down blenders are extremely good at this. There are a lot of smoothie blenders that are, you put the stuff in the canister, you put the lid on it, you tighten it down, but the blades are in it. You flip the whole thing upside down, and you just push it down onto the contacts a few times, and you've got a well-blended unit. So basically, the whole idea of the smoothie is basically a very limited number of ingredients.
Yeah, don't go overboard because then you just have mush.
Well, and you don't want to overly complex the flavor. You want things that are going to play well together. And that's what we'll really get into in the next segment here, are the different flavors to play with, see who you can tag up together. So this is the Cooking Today show. We're talking about fruits and smoothies, and we'll be back. Today we are talking tropical fruits. We'll throw in fruits, veggies, King Kong inspired snacks, things to go eat at the movie that are healthy. And I'm gonna turn to our local Mid-South favorite and go, let's talk about strawberries for a minute.
All right. We're going to talk about strawberries.
Because they're already coming in.
Yes. In fact, the smoothies we had today, the strawberries were from
my garden.
Your garden.
Yes.
Which, I don't know, I know you guys can't partake of the flavor or see any of the stuff because we're on the radio. But if you ever get a chance, you hear Allan Gilbert's going to be somewhere with food that came from his garden, go, flock, because it's worth it.
We have a lot of fun at a lot of different demos, a lot of different cooking and that kind of stuff. Brandon and I will be doing more demos coming up soon.
I've got an entire list of things for us to do in November when we finally are able to get back to doing the Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention.
Absolutely. Don't mind name dropping that one.
Well, no, that's like,
there's probably going to be waffles and a variety of other things at that one.
Yes.
And the first thing I'm going to point out is, you can put strawberries on a waffle.
Yes.
They're quite tasty.
You can put strawberries in a waffle.
And that's also quite tasty.
Yes.
So with this smoothie idea, strawberry is a great gateway fruit.
Yeah.
Pretty much everybody's had it.
And if you haven't, you should.
Really, I can't imagine of course, I spend most of my time in the South. I can't imagine anybody in the South not partaking in strawberries.
Yeah.
But as somebody could have missed.
Food allergies.
Well, yeah.
That's your only excuse.
Other than that. But since everybody's already familiar with that, and okay, they've never tried a kiwi before. All right, well, you've tried a strawberry.
Yeah.
Let's now, especially in the smoothie camp, well, we're going to make a strawberry smoothie. Well, what's a strawberry smoothie? It's, it's 2 cups of strawberries. It's 1 cup, it's a half a cup of yogurt, 1 cup of your fluid, your choice of, and you pound it into being a smoothie. You hit the little thingy and
blenders are your friend.
But and there are specific smoothie blenders these days.
Yeah, we would love to tell you about those, but they're not sponsoring us yet.
But we're not going to give you a brand name, but I will tell you there's several brand names out there, and they all work pretty good. I've tried 3 of them today alone. So it's one of these things where, all right, in today's world, we have so many people that haven't tried something.
And it's weird. I mean, I get that there's a lot of different food out there to consume, but when you go, oh, we're going to do this, especially, let's say, here in the South, I'm gonna do a batch of crawfish. Well, I've never had, how have you never had crawfish?
Oh, I've had crawfish 3 times so far this season, and you know what? It's still early in the season.
You've had it twice this week. Don't start with me. There's just a little behind the scenes. There's a guy who has a stand, just up the road from our studios here, that has some of the best.
The crawfish food truck,
yes,
is behind a building up here every Saturday morning,
and it's just
It's like trying to drive by an ice cream truck. It just can't be done.
You have to stop. It has to happen. Yeah.
Yep. So we'll talk more about ditch bugs in an upcoming episode.
We're not going to turn
just at the beginning of the
We're
season.
not going to turn those into smoothies yet.
I just can't see any way of doing that as a smoothie.
Yet.
Claire, what do you think? Even Claire went, nope, not doing that as a smoothie
Yet.
You know what? Never mind. I have never an idea for
What
that.
does regret and strawberries taste like? We'll find out.
All right, I wouldn't do them with the strawberries. So,
No, lemon.
yeah. Oof, here we go. So
Butter.
we're back to gatewaying the smoothie. Simple, easy, refreshing, good for you. A great spring and summertime drink. Sit around here, dessert, whatever you want to call it.
They're for all you health nuts. They're really great for after a run.
That's true.
Yeah.
They're
not great before a run.
No, let's not do that before we go running. What I'm trying to picture in my head here, Brandon, is okay, so you've never tried a kiwi, or you've never tried a dragon fruit, or you've never tried something that somebody has told you is tasty, but you've never dared to do it.
Okay, so
this might be the perfect gateway.
Absolutely, because you get a chance to test it as a flavor additive.
Yes,
and then you're like, okay, I like that. I'll try a little more with the next one, and then eventually you're just biting into a raw chunk of starfruit as you walk past it,
because it is that tasty.
It really is. I mean, it looks weird. Don't get me wrong. It looks weird. The skin is very leathery. You're like, from the outside, it looks like it's already gone bad. But
that's how you know it's good.
That's just how it looks. Yeah.
Well, we could pick on something else like passion fruit.
Passion fruit.
We could wander, and we are going to start a segment before too much longer called "It Came from the International Market." But today, everything from the international market would make a pretty good smoothie. I'm talking about the fruit section over there. We will not be making a durian fruit smoothie. That will not happen.
Are you sure?
I'm positive that will not happen.
They also have those really good small pumpkins.
Now,
they're very
thought
flavorful.
Of a pumpkin smoothie had already crossed my mind, and I already think I've figured out the recipe for it.
Okay. As long as it's a pumpkin smoothie and not a pumpkin spice smoothie, guys.
No. Well, it'll have pumpkin spice in it, but it's because there will be pumpkin.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you keep, all right. The thing people have to understand, when something says pumpkin spice, that doesn't mean there's any pumpkin in it.
It's usually not.
There's not. Pumpkin spice is just the cloves and all the spices.
It's cloves, cinnamon, and nutmeg, guys. It's cloves, cinnamon, nutmeg.
It's the stuff you add to pumpkin to make it pie.
But you can't sell that as an additive at Starbucks.
Yeah, just looking at somebody going, here, give me $5. I put cloves in the soap.
Yeah,
it doesn't sound as good. Yeah. So welcome to Truth in Advertising. So, it's kind of like, why would they put bacon in soap? I don't get that. You're not eating the soap.
Well, soap's, 35 to 45% fat anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean,
it was already mostly bacon.
It's mostly bacon.
It was already mostly bacon. Just didn't have the flavor. Not sure I want to walk down the street smelling like bacon, though. But,
this is the South. Imagine the people that'll flock to you. You're already a celebrity.
How to become a chick magnet in 3, 2, 1.
That being said, and I brought this up, when I was talking about the starfruit, how it looks like it might be on the edge of being overripe.
Right.
Honestly, guys, if you've got fruit laying around your house that you're worried your family's not going to eat before it goes bad,
pulverize it.
Turn it into smoothies, and then you can put that that quart of smoothie that you just made into the fridge and extend the lifetime of those veggies and fruits.
No,
stick it in the freezer, turn it into ice cream.
No, because
there's no extending the life here. You just created a way of getting it out of the fridge.
No, because once the lid goes on it, those kids ain't allowed to touch it.
Yeah, Too late.
Too late.
Oh, yeah, you tell them. Oh, well, that would be the greatest way to do this, since I love being all about today's cooking. Is, look at them, tell them, don't touch my smoothie stuff. By the time you get back,
it's gone.
It will be completely empty. Well, I'll take it back. There will be a quarter of an inch left in the bottom for you.
It's true.
So they didn't drink it all.
Right.
Just enough left to make you mad.
Yeah.
So, yeah, well.
And anyone who's ever had younger siblings or children know exactly what we're talking about when it comes to things like, the orange juice carton.
Yep. They got to leave that tiny little bit down there. So,
speaking of orange juice, that's also a really good flavor liquid
fluid
for your fluid
for a smoothie. I've also found out pineapple juice will work.
Pineapple juice will work.
I would avoid the grapefruit. That just has such a powerful flavor. I really couldn't do much with it.
See, that's the thing is, I usually have with pineapple itself.
Yeah.
You can do this with pineapple juice, but if you actually put pineapple into the smoothie, just make a pineapple mango smoothie. Yep. Because those two flavors mix really well together, and the pineapple is going to overflavor anything else. It's going to overpower everything else. But yeah, you're right.
Watch your acid levels.
Yeah, you don't want it to become too tart. Because tart especially if you're using the yogurt, tart and dairy can really mess up your system.
It can get really sharp on you. The one thing I did discover of playing with the number and quantity of smoothie books that I have been loaned this week.
Yeah, it's like, I'm going to do this.
Oh my gosh! This is
the thing where it comes into the passion of cooking, and you will find out that people that you don't even think can boil water correctly have a recipe for everything. The moment you say, I'm going to try blank, and it's something they like, everybody sends you their recipe, and it's like, I don't want your recipe. I'm trying my own thing. But you end up with 47 emails, 5 or 6 books that get dropped off.
Oh, yeah.
A Barnes & Noble card, and, go to this section. It gets ridiculous, but we will accept the gratuities.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well,
yeah.
But it's...
We appreciate you.
The shocking number of I get smoothies from XYZ someplace, and my favorite combo is.
Right.
And my favorite combo is, and my favorite combo is. So in researching that, I discovered really if you have the strawberry-based smoothies, you're really out of anything where you're going to get added sugar.
Okay.
The more tart it becomes, the more acid it becomes, the more likely your favorite smoothie place is also throwing in a couple of tablespoons of sugar.
Yeah.
To take the edge off so that it is much more palatable. So the trick is, I think, now, I could be wrong on this. I mean, there's, in my mind, it's like a dessert smoothie. You wouldn't mind it being sweet.
Right. But if you're doing something like, especially if you're doing a green smoothie, you don't really want all that sugar on top of it.
Right. So the trick would be to avoid the sugar in a lot of this.
And that also includes, things like imitation vanilla, because all that stuff breaks down the same way. And I will almost guarantee you that most of your, like franchise, smoothie places, they're hitting you with that imitation vanilla.
Oh, yeah.
Because sometimes too much.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to sell a commercial product. So,
right.
What we're talking about here is things you can do at home. And like you said, of smoothies, in my mind, have actually become the jambalaya of kind of cold desserts.
Yeah.
Jambalaya is what happens when you have rice and you need to clean out the fridge.
Right.
You've got some onions.
It's like, you don't ever go to someone and say, hey, I need a recipe for jambalaya, because they're going to look at you and they're going to look through you and pretend you don't exist anymore, because that's what it is. It's like, I've got this, put it in a pot full of rice.
There's a couple of recipes like that.
Yeah.
The Spanish paella, jambalaya, and any number of stews and gumbos where it's pretty much you cleaned out the fridge and that's the flavor we got. So when we come back, we're going to dive into a few more variations and head into some more tropical fruits at the Cooking Today Show. All right, guys.
I'm just going to say that it's food brain.
It is. It is. We're having too much fun is the problem.
It's hard to remember things like web addresses and email IDs and
well, I think we're getting yogurt overdose at this point. So we're having a little fun. So the topic today is King Kong inspired tropical fruits and wonderful things, which of course we had to start out at smoothies, and we're still on smoothies because we're gonna step out of regular smoothies, and we're going to get joined by a friend of ours named Christy, and she likes to do. Now, we said don't use grapefruit juice because it's a little too strong. However, we're not going to say don't use grapefruit because, again, matching your flavors has a little fun. So, all right, I'm going to look at Christy this time and go, all right, tell me about grapefruit and lemon smoothies because that's what you were talking about here in a second ago.
Yeah, so when I'm doing citrus-like smoothies, I always try to think of pairing the citrus together so something doesn't overpower something else. But I also think about what do I want to have as the additive and what do I want to have as the major taste.
Okay.
So if I'm doing something very citrusy and I want it to be more lemon, I'll actually use a whole lemon. I dice it up, throw it in. You can freeze it first or you don't have to, but either way. And that just brings out juices and it keeps me from having to use any extra flavors like your ice waters, your sparkling water, things like that. Because you don't want to put too much additive byproduct type juices in. Because like even with orange juice, so much sugar. You might as well just use oranges. And you can mix
I'm not going to argue with that.
Yeah.
We're going to look at you and go, all right, we're good. I'm good.
But now, listening to Christy go through this, I'm just sitting there going, Allan, I need a prickly pear smoothie.
Oh, yes. And I'm happy you said that because next thing on the list of putting your smoothie together, especially if it's citrusy, you still want to have one thing that has fiber to it. Because that's the whole point of a smoothie is to kind of give you the balances of things you need. So a prickly pear, a Bartlett pear. Obviously, everybody loves the banana. You add one of those ideas in, or a mango. You add only one of those. You don't need too much fiber because, well, unless, you know.
Yeah, we all know. We all know.
Yeah, we don't talk about that here. This is not a Joe show.
We've all had that extra bran muffin at some point in our career.
So, yes, you could do the prickly pear. You can put in your 1 or 2 lemons and then add, and again, I'll do sometimes halves. So you can put in like a fourth of a grapefruit because grapefruits are so strong.
Right.
Just like pineapples and just like mangoes. Just put in a tad bit. You still get the kick of it. You still get the citrus goodies and the vitamins and all. And then I usually add in my protein powders. And then I add in either water or I do cheat. I do use some sparkling water. I won't say which one.
No, because they don't sponsor us yet.
Yes, but I don't. But I won't do more than like a fourth of a cup. Literally, I don't put much of it in because all the juices are coming from those citrus, or from the frozen. If it's a frozen prickly pears chunks that I'll do, or frozen bananas that I do. So yeah.
I'm looking at Brandon now, all right.
I'm good with this.
Brandon's looking at me like, we're going to the international market here in about a minute. So
yeah.
Claire, you down? You got the truck started yet? Everybody's ready to go shopping now.
Vroom, homeboys.
But it also comes back to what you were saying about, like doing passion fruits and stuff. Like passion fruit, I did because I'd never really gotten to have one. And you always get those imitation passion fruit flavors, but not the passion fruit. So when I actually got it, opened it up, like Brandon said, don't be scared of the outside because on the inside, I was very surprised at exactly what it was. I was like, really? That's this little small, you pull it out with a spoon and these seeds.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. And it looks like a piece of organism with like...
Yeah, it's got a passion fruit has a very frightening look. You hear about those people who have like, that have issues with like spherical or just holes.
Yes.
They could not eat a passion fruit correctly. They would need the artificial.
Yes.
It looks like something out of a Lovecraftian, novel.
Yes.
All right, Claire, I did not need to make eye contact with you on that one. I really didn't. All right, guys. Well, that's all right. Welcome to tropical fruit. It's different.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
And ugly fruit is actually really quite tasty.
Yes.
Brandon has a standing challenge with me, and it'll actually be a fruit that I used to make the no meat.
Jackfruit.
Yeah, it will be the no meat ribs.
Yes, I've been trying. I want to try a jackfruit. I actually do want to try that on one of my next smoothies.
So
wow.
Well, Brandon has grander goals. He wants me to jackfruit onto the grill.
Because I heard jackfruit when you open it up smells to high heaven.
No,
Which one am I thinking of?
you're thinking of a durian.
Yeah.
Okay.
The durian's the devil.
Yeah, I can't do a durian. I'm sorry, that is just not going to happen. For those
And
of you
this
wondering,
is from a guy who boils crawfish on a regular basis.
yeah, if you guys are wondering what we're talking about with a durian fruit is an Indonesian fruit. It can weigh anywhere between 5 to 30 pounds.
Yeah, they can get pretty big.
They look like,
Or at least
in
solid.
the South we would call it a road apple. It's lumpy, it's not attractive, it's big, it fell out of a tree, would probably kill you.
It has the pricklies on them, doesn't it?
And when you cut it open, it is renowned by the World Guinness Book of Records people as pretty much the most odoriferous things humans will eat. It is actually illegal to have them on many public transportations around the world. I am given to understand by some friends of mine that do like it that it tastes a lot like banana custard. I have yet to get past the smell.
Yeah.
I'm sure I will one day, but we will not be during a durian fruit episode, I promise.
I hate that this came to my brain, but man, back in December would have been the perfect time for you to try it when you couldn't smell or taste it.
That way.
That is good.
This is great pudding. Thanks, y'all.
Or, of course, if we could, we just get some and add it as his additive to one of his other smoothies. that he
Yeah,
was
there we
just
go.
talking
That
about.
back in December when I
could-
had no sense of smell. Yeah.
It could totally have been your yogurt.
Oh my gosh. Brandon, I love you, but you're an evil man. That's all
I
gotta
am.
say.
But no, that's not something I would ever suggest anybody cut open or go anywhere near.
Okay. Let's wander into a few other things. We brought up lemons, grapefruits. Of course, there's always the blueberries, the raspberries, all of your usual suspects.
Right.
Of other things that you would find. Now, you brought up prickly pear.
Yes.
And if you're not from out west, believe it or not, cactus do have fruit,
Yes.
which is actually amazingly tasty and has a strawberry-like flavor to it.
It's almost sweeter than strawberries, though.
It is.
And it's got this really weird reddish purple color to it. So it's like if you ever order like a prickly pear drink because you think it's going to be, just your typical pear, it's not. But and they will bring you something that is very bright purple, and you'll go, "What did you just bring me?" Just drink it.
Yep.
Or put it in a smoothie.
Surprise.
Yeah.
Or how about the jicama?
I'm a big fan.
Here's the funny thing. Once you learn about a new something,
Yeah.
doesn't matter what it is. You could be going to the grocery store and a new farmer has moved into the area and they like to raise something from their home. Before COVID, how many people had ever heard of elderberries?
I think me and you.
A few. And
Anybody who watched
Like
Monty
me.
Python and the Holy Grail.
Okay. Con culture knows all about them.
Yes.
But, how many people, were they something you were buying a gummy of?
No.
No.
It just was unheard of. So in the last year, suddenly everybody has discovered the wonderful world of elderberry.
Yeah, and then I can't find what I need it.
Yep.
But have you noticed? And it's in the same vein. Once you've been introduced to something, you see it everywhere.
Well, that's the beauty of as things change in the world. So as we get there, give me something else that you guys have seen at the farmer's market that you would like to try.
Well, there's pretty much everything.
Pretty much everything.
Pretty much
Okay.
everything.
Jicama.
All right, a jicama. That is a nice.
I don't even know what that is.
Well, you're about to find out. A jicama is a very woody. It is a tuber, and has kind of a water chestnut-like consistency and flavor to it. And to be perfectly honest, it would make a nice neutral of texture. So actually, I think a jicama would actually work.
So you'd probably want to use maybe a coconut water or coconut
I would,
shavings
yeah.
to sweeten it up. But yeah, have the texture of like maybe a pear or like you say a chestnut.
Yeah, it's going to be basically the texture of a very firm pear.
Okay.
So
Yeah, sweeten it up with some coconut.
yep.
coconut
So
water.
jicamas are good. I was trying to think of some of the more outlandish things, but
Well, it's like I'm sitting there. I'm thinking. I'm like, going into any international market, you find out that these various fruits. Just the most basic thing. There's like 7,000 different varieties of them that do not look right.
Well, that's true. We'll talk about pink lemonade, blueberries, and other interesting things when we come back.
And why you don't put them in your smoothie.
This is the Cooking Today show on the Mighty 990 AM, 107.9 FM, and we will be right back. I didn't really expect to spend the entire show talking about smoothies, but you know what? The topic keeps getting broader as you get into
Well,
it.
it's because you say the word smoothie and people think, oh, drink, but no, it's like a giant field,
It is.
and
I've
and
even
everything
gotten
you can grow in that field can go in a smoothie.
pretty close. I haven't even gotten to mocha yet. Coffee smoothies.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
No, we should actually just save that for the coffee episode because that's coming up
I have
too.
a coffee smoothie.
Oh yeah,
This is
I invented a couple. I just didn't bring them.
Yeah, it's because he
They
drank them all.
Yeah, so they
Probably
didn't
did.
make it actually.
Probably for our own protection.
It
Yeah.
was.
Probably.
It
Just the
was
regular smoothies have already made us, like
giddy.
upbeat and perky.
Yeah,
I don't like that word.
it's all right. Brandon Perky. That you guys have no idea how funny that is.
No.
Christy's about to fall out of the chair. Alrighty. So the basic idea. Let's recap slightly. The basic idea of a smoothie. The simplest idea is you need a fluid,
Yes.
milk, orange juice,
almond milk.
coconut water. As Christy's pointed out, any number of flavored waters will work. Anything you want, just regular water. You need about a cup of that. Now you're going to need about half a cup of yogurt.
Yes.
And I'm sure that the other purist will argue you can do a variety of things. I just find that the yogurt-based ones seem to have the easiest consistency.
Yes.
And let's face it,
Yeah.
yogurt is basically a superfood. So
Okay.
it's hard to argue with the health effects of yogurt. And now you need a fruit or a mixture of fruits.
Right.
The run-of-the-mill gateway fruit of the universe will always be the strawberry. It's just a favorite. Everybody's had them. You know the flavor. And unless there's some horrible overriding reason, pretty much the worst anybody can say about a strawberry is, yeah, I'll eat it.
My family was killed by a strawberry field.
Yeah,
It's so sad, but you know what? The only way to get your real revenge is to eat them all.
That's true. So there we go. So there you have just your basic fundamental, I made a smoothie in the blender. And it's nice and thick. You're ready to go. And now you got a simple smoothie. From
then you
here,
start
I'm
thinking-
just warning you, from here, you are kicking open a gateway that is almost limitless.
Well, I mean, because, there are some people who will sit there and go, you know what? I want a little bit of texture in this.
Yes.
And yes, while there's still a little bit of fruit texture in there, you're thinking things like maybe a granola mix, maybe pralined cashews.
I can't imagine who did that
Because
today.
certain other people are evil just as well as I am.
Yes.
And it's just, you can't, there's nothing. It would have to be something completely and utterly off the wall to say that you can't add it to a smoothie. Like Quick Crate.
All right, that's an
I mean,
edible.
you could, but once.
That's an edible. I don't think, I'm trying to think of if you could actually get away with the shrimp and grits smoothie.
Oh, God.
I think you could.
I have no idea.
All right.
But
So So here we go.
Now that I've horrified
All
everybody
right,
in the studio.
so here's the thing. It can be done, but instead of using yogurt, you used a whipped butter.
Mm-hmm.
Be prepared. It's going to taste like you just swallowed a seafood dish, but
Well, yeah.
it can be done, and it's not necessarily something you should do. But we'll try it.
But what
Once.
we're advocating...
I mean, it comes to my head, though. It also depends on age, because at a certain age, you start to drink more of the food that you want to eat.
And she's looking at me when she says that.
Well, that's because you're 97
I feel so wounded. I think like I've been called
decades
out.
old.
But so
Inspired.
I think we're all going to agree the smoothie is
Versatile.
very versatile.
Yeah.
A great beverage for pepping up, cooling off.
You could say the smoothie's king.
Ah.
There's a reason we keep her in a little booth. There really is, ladies and gentlemen.
And one of the days, the shot collar is going to start working.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. This is the Cooking Today Show. I'm Allan Gilbreth, and thank you for hanging out with us about smoothies. And you know what? We'll be back with more mischief next week.